The Ethereum Spot ETF is a foregone conclusion now that the SEC has approved the Bitcoin Spot ETF. Right? Well, that's what everyone seems to think, but it's a little more complicated than that.
How do you think about other cryptocurrencies? People are now talking about whether there should be an Ethereum ETF.
I look at what we did this week as it's cabined to one non-security commodity called Bitcoin.
So, what is the connection between Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs? In the crypto-based ETF space, there are two main types. Futures, which allow investors to bet on the future prices of crypto without owning any, and spot ETFs, which provide direct exposure to cryptocurrencies. Now, the assumption that a lot of people are going with is that Ethereum is going to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin future ETFs were approved and started trading in October 2021. Then, in 2023, Ethereum future ETFs were also approved. Now, in January 2024, Bitcoin spot ETFs were approved. So logically, yep, you guessed it, Ethereum spot ETFs are going to be approved as well. Let's start off with the cases for why they should be approved. The SEC has already approved a futures ETF for Ethereum, and their reason for why they haven't approved a spot ETF is to get feedback on Ether's susceptibility to fraud and manipulation. But this would be true for the futures ETF as well, so it doesn't really make sense that they can approve the futures ETF without approving the spot ETF. Pro case number 2. TradFi loves yield. Ethereum is a yield generating asset. Therefore, yep, TradFi loves the idea of an Ethereum based ETF. Quick math. There are already 9 Ethereum spot ETF filings, including filings from massive names like BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK Invest, and Franklin Templeton. For those of you who don't know, BlackRock basically owns everything, and if they want something, well, they tend to get it. Their success rate with the SEC is 575 to 1. So yeah, I wouldn't really bet against them. Pro case number 3. Spot Ethereum ETFs already exist in other countries like Canada and Switzerland, so it's not like they're bringing something completely new to the US markets. The argument for approving an Ethereum spot ETF seems pretty strong, especially if you believe that Ethereum is going to follow Bitcoin's path. However, there are some concerns that the SEC is going to reject these applications. So, how do Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs differ? The first major difference is that the SEC has never formally and openly acknowledged that Ethereum is actually a commodity. It's always been in the sort of gray zone, and the SEC is very careful not to make any statements about it.
Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law, and if there's a group of individuals...
I'm asking you about the facts and the law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also...
But you have prejudged on this.
Next, the Ether investment thesis is different to that of Bitcoin. Ethereum has established itself as a tech platform, and it's used for much more than just financial transactions. It supports a massive ecosystem of decentralized apps, including NFTs, decentralized finance, metaverse applications, and many more. Ether is used to pay for transaction fees and secure the network through staking. This makes it a lot more useful than just a digital currency. On the other hand, Bitcoin is simpler and is seen as digital gold due to its limited supply and store of value propositions. The supply limit of 21 million is a fundamental factor in its value proposition. The core value proposition of Ether makes it a little more tricky to market to investors, especially if you're only offering them price exposure. So what I mean by this is that if I were to buy spot Ether ETFs from, let's say, BlackRock, and I knew that they were staking this Ether in the back, but they didn't offer any of that yield to me, all I got were the fluctuations in price, I'd be pretty upset. To wrap this up, I don't think anyone can predict what the SEC is going to do, but mark your calendars for the 23rd of May 2024. This is the final date that the SEC has to decide whether to approve or deny VanEck's spot Ethereum ETF application. I'm curious to know what you guys think though. Let us know in the comment section below. If you guys found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for future videos.